If you've been using FasterMail and think it should work a little bit differently, you'll be happy to hear that just about everything in FasterMail is customizable. Let's take a look at how we can change our email preservation settings by going to Faster Suite on the Faster ribbon, clicking the Settings wheel, then selecting Message Preservation on the left. Keep in mind that most of these settings can be changed for specific items when we preserve an email, but configuring the settings here will change the defaults that are selected. The first tab is Messages. This is where we can configure what happens with the email file that gets saved in Clio. At the top, we can choose whether or not the email file should be saved in Clio at all. Below that, we can configure a default name for the email file if we do save it. The next two settings will let us configure a default list of folders to choose from when deciding where in a matter to save the email file. In the text box, we can type in any folders we want to be able to select, and the checkbox below will let us choose whether to include our Clio document categories as folders. The checkbox below that turns deduplication on or off for email files. And the final text box allows us to enter words, phrases, or other text that we would like to remove from the email file names. The next tab is Attachments and is almost identical to the Messages tab, except these settings will be related to the images and attachments from emails instead of the emails themselves. The only other difference here is that we can choose which images and attachments to extract from emails by default at the top. The Communications tab is next. Here, we can configure whether we want to save the email as a communication in Clio, turn deduplication on or off for communications, and choose whether FasterMail should create contacts for people on preserved emails that don't already exist in Clio. When we're done configuring these settings, we can click Save and Close.